Hello everyone, it's Clay from Clay's Collections, back again with another garage sale haul. And this time it was quite surprising. Number one, it was an unexpected garage sale. I was coming back from actually a doctor's appointment, and I saw a garage sale sign, so I thought, oh, let me try to find it. It was the most difficult garage sale I think I've ever tried to find. And it's not because it was a bad address or a, winding neighborhood or anything like that. It was actually a very nice, gridded neighborhood. But because I was driving alone, usually if Cindy and I are together, she grabs the address off the sign, and so we know what street to go. Well, because I was driving, couldn't really do that because I just turned where I saw the sign. And so I thought, I'll drive down the street. So I drove down the street, no other signs. I got to the end and it was a dead end street, multiple blocks down. I was like, obviously must have missed it. So I turned around, came all the way back, no signs. So I was like, I was driving slow, trying to look to see if anybody had anything sitting outside their garage. Nothing. So then I got back to the original street I was on, there where I saw the sign, and I turned right and went down a block, and there was another garage sale sign, looked like the same people. So I thought, well, maybe this one will take me there. So I go down, follow the signs, and sure enough, there's the sign, like quite a ways down. And so I turn on that street and I drive up the street. I don't see the garage sale. So I'm like, are they not having it? It's like 9 o'clock in the morning, so it's not, I'm not too early per se. So I'm like, what is going on? So I said, okay, before you give up, Clay, turn around. And it was worth not giving up. So I went around the block, came back again, and there I saw it. What happened was it was the very first street on the block. So when I turned onto the street, I was looking for a sign in the yard, right? Well, the sign was there, but it was turned so in such a way that you could only see it if you were right in front of it. So when I drove by, I missed it because I was looking for another direction sign. So anyway, so it was partly my fault that I didn't find it right away. But I thought, okay, there it is. So I turned around, parked, got out. So glad I did. So I walk up to this sale. Oh, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thanks for coming. And I do part-time reselling of vintage and antique items at an antique store in downtown Hopkins, Minnesota. I do not have an online presence anymore. I used to sell on eBay, but I don't anymore, just because life is too busy and I don't have time to deal with all of that. So anyway, so welcome. Thank you for subscribing. So I walk up to the sale and there's a whole bunch of free boxes. So I'm like, so I start sorting through those, and I did pick up a couple things out of the free boxes. Picked up this little hand crocheted hat wall hanger, so you can hang it on your wall. I just thought it was really cute for free. You couldn't beat it. It's perfect condition. So I grabbed that, and then there was this little vintage Christmas ornament, Christmas trees with the manger, baby Jesus in there. Never saw one quite like that before. And then there was this whistle baseball. It's keychain. It's actually a baseball that's a whistle. And it's Ballpark brand. So I don't know if it was put out by Ballpark Franks or what, but I thought for free. Can't beat that. So then, as I'm going down the little line with skip the free boxes, there's a box of Christmas stuff. So I'm like, oh, let me look in here. So glad I did. So one of the things I found was this blow-up Santa, vintage Santa, blow-up little guy. He's not super old, but he's still very pliable, very usable. And then the box had some of these. Brand new in the package, Christmas decorations, made in Japan. This guy is really wild. He's got the really wild outfit. It's a little elf. Shelf sitter you could be, or knee hugger, I think. And they all have these stickers on the back. There's all new material Japan. And so this one is another, I think, elf. First I thought, is he a leprechaun or what is he? But I think he's an elf in green, all in green. And then there's the striped elf. He's one of Frank's hardware and garden center. Frank's nursery. There it is. So, and then there were Santa, found Santa, and of course, can't forget Mrs. Claus. She was in there too. And I think this is another elf in red. He's got a funky hat on him. But all total, all brand new in the package, there's 27 of them. So of course I grabbed all of them, and they were 2 for $1. How can you say no? You can't. So I was like, okay. So then I follow along the line. I find a bookshelf, small bookshelf that I need for the pink elephant for display. That was $5. That was perfect. Then I go in the garage, and there's a table of, you know, the household decorative items. And I see this fabulous piece of glass. And I'm like, they had $5 on it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to grab it. And I turned it over just to make sure, and it was signed. And I didn't, it's hard to read because the garage is kind of dark. So I just saw it was signed. So I thought, absolutely, for $5, I'm grabbing it because it was a great piece. And it's actually purple. It's kind of hard to see. It doesn't show up too well on camera, but it's a purple that's really, really dark. It looks almost black. And next to it was this awesome piece, also signed by the same artist. And what I found was that these were actually Swedish glass, and the artist is Kedelv, I believe, Kedelv. These are mid-50s. These are both signed 1955. Beautiful glass. These are in great condition, no chips. There is some, you know, wear patterns on the bottom from being moved around, but no chips or cracks. And I was like, okay, so for $5 each, I couldn't pass them up. Well, then, later on, when I had a chance to look them up, because they, you know, as I was putting stuff down, they were wrapping and putting it in a box. I did some more research on these, and I'll tell you about that in just a minute, because I just have a couple more things to show you. And some of you may remember these, the old clackers. They are actually banned from selling on eBay or other online stuff, but they actually sell really well. So I just thought it was funny. You just have, if you don't say what they are, you can get by with selling. But again, I don't have an online presence, so I don't have to worry about that. So I bought that. It was in this Cracker Barrel cheese box for 50 cents. So I thought, I'll take the box. It's a nice little storage box. Might do a craft project with it or something. And I also picked up this little frame. And the reason I picked up this little frame was because at another garage sale earlier this summer, some kids were selling lemonade and their artwork that they did for 50 cents each. So I bought a piece of artwork, which I really liked. I thought they did some nice colors, and it kind of looks like some other abstract art I have on the wall. So I just have to trim it down just a little bit to fit in this frame. So I thought that was cool. So that was actually everything I got at the garage sale, which I spent $22 all total. $5 on the shelf, $5 each for the glassware, that's $15, and then $7 on the Christmas items, and 50 cents and a quarter for the frame. $22.75. So great deal. Anyway, back to these. This is so the first thing when I looked up this artist, Kedelv, it was the first item it came up was $2,475 for one of his larger pieces. And I was like, that's on First Dibs. That wasn't on eBay. If you look on eBay, there's stuff is, you know, $100, $150. But most of it is much smaller. It's not the larger size. So I don't really know exactly where to price these, because the price literally ranges from $25 to $2,500. I think these are some of the better works. This one, I believe, is what they call the flying manatee. It's kind of, you know, has that form to it. So there are some which are much wider than this one. This one's a rather narrower form, which is actually a little more practical for on a table or something. And of course, this one just being a fabulous vase. This one, there are similar examples to this one, which are probably around the $300 range, I believe. So yeah, all out of the blue. Unfortunately, I didn't have any cash on me, but I have this habit of putting money in my little slot in my car. When I get extra cash and I don't want to put it back in my pocket, I just drop it in there. So I had money with me in the car, fortunately. But anyway, just had a great time. Thought I'd share with you guys my fun little garage sale haul. Catch you next time.